stamp on the StarCraft builds are. And he has a very unique style of non-stop action. And what it reminds me of in Wings of Liberty with MMA and MVP. It reminds me a lot of those those guys at their prime, where they used to just drop all the time, heavy aggression beginning to end. It was a signature of these guys, and they were, in essence, rivals. Some, the best in the scene at that time, and the pinnacle of that was, I believe it was the BlizzCon. It was the global finals in 2012 or was it 2011? Now that slips my mind. Numbers, I always say never use numbers on stream. That was an epic series. Guys, we're heading to another epic series of our own right here. To the north we have the Blue Zerg, Nurchio.
Who's had a bit of a rest period, giving him a bit of an advantage over his opponent in the south of Prion Terraces. It's the red player, Bjorn.
Guys, this is the best of 7, guys. A lot of money on the line in this grand finals. Yes, sir, you were saying something.
I was just saying, I just realized that Nurchio had a break of, I don't know, close to an hour?
Oh, yeah, he
right?
probably could have slept a little bit, I guess, too.
Yeah, where he wasn't playing at all, and Bjorn just played a super hard-fought 5-game series against Liquid Mana. We're going to see what he's made of if he can actually come in here and make something happen against a player as good as Nurchio right now.
Yeah, it's either he's super tired or he's just getting warmed up. Who knows with Bjorn? This guy is a beast.
He's getting his second wind.
Yep, perhaps. Well, look at that. We got the expansion going down for Nurchio at that forward gold base. I don't mind that choice at all. A bit risky, especially considering the placement of it and that ramp that's nearby towards the center. But we got, look at that. We got 2 Rax Reaper going on. This will be tricky. I've seen Zergs hold this before doing this expansion, but this is beyond. This isn't just a ladder Terran doing this. This is beyond doing this. This does not bode well for our blue Zerg player.
Yeah, and it looks like a 3 Rax Reaper, which is more standard here. And is there actually... Yes, spawning pool is up and running. Queens are being produced. They're going to be very, very useful against this Reaper harass. Sending out 1 Reaper early. Here is Bjorn, perhaps just trying to lull Nurchio into a false sense of security that there's just 1 Reaper. But guess what? There are more in production too. Right now at the same time from the barracks. A 3rd barracks about to complete as well, making that 3 at a time. And let the micro games begin.
Yeah, some Lings are here trying to run across the map, perhaps buy a little bit of time, maybe force Bjorn out of position, but now the 2nd Reaper does join the fray. These are slow Lings and will get destroyed by these super fast Reapers, especially with their KDA charge and with the excellent zoning ability is this new Legacy of the Void ability of these Reapers. Now the Reapers are putting a hurt. 3rd one comes in. Oh, when I see 3rd Reapers, tears start streaming from my eyes, and I'm pretty sure Nurchio is none too happy about seeing this.
This Queen's got him launched 3 or 4 times. It is 10 damage per hit every time she does get launched, which is a big problem. More KDA charges getting thrown down. That KDA charge string will just get more and more ridiculous as more Reapers show on up here. 2 more Reapers in production. Another Queen walking all the way down here to the gold base to try to shoo away the Reapers who are hopping now into the main base. Is there anything up here to defend? There's not. There are roaches. They're going to pop out here fairly soon. But in the meantime, how many drones will end up dead to these 4 Reapers? And the answer is about 3. And the roaches are enough to shoo the Reapers away, at least temporarily.
So while that was actually pretty good, I'd say, for Bjorn overall, he has a lot of Reapers. They're not going to be just a little more of an annoyance than anything, because roaches don't take critical damage to Reapers. But that is a pretty good number, especially with that charge ability. It does take out a roach themselves. Still more Reapers on the way. I really like this commitment. Shows real heart from Bjorn, as he himself is taking his natural and is about equal in workers right now. So again, I think economic advantage is probably a little bit here in Nurchio's favor, as the supply is ticking its way up and he is mining from that gold base. So Bjorn is still not out of the woods yet. He actually has to do a little bit more damage here, I think, as he's a lot of dead weight here with these Reapers. And they're going to allow him to get some map vision and possible harass, maybe keep Nurchio in his base, but nothing more than that, as there's a critical, I think, amount of roaches out now that these Reapers are now dead weight.
Especially with the Queen support here, the Reapers are just trying to find an angle to attack. Can't even get that creep tumor. Does actually kill it using the KDA charge. Good use of that ability. Winging on in once again, but the Queen just poking away. They can't really get any angle on these workers at all. More KDA charges exploding harmlessly on the top of the creep. A factory coming up as well for Bjorn. Is he just heading home now? He can't. He might be, though. He's holding the Zone like a watchtower, waiting for combat drugs to heal up his Reapers once again. And a third base coming down for Nurchio at the gold. If he has 2 gold bases, I really fear for Bjorn and his future in this game.
Yeah, Bjorn took his natural, and he may be relatively similar in the worker count, also considering mules, but he is not mining from the gold base. So the economy by default is going to be quite healthier for Nurchio, but he is getting some kills here, making some last-ditch use of these Reapers as they're going to be useless for the rest of the game, and I really like this choice, killing 8 drones, which is something he absolutely needed. 9 drones going down, but again, that third base is going up at that second gold location, and he's still mining healthily at his natural gold base.
And indeed, the third base just going to pop here. More and more drones in production, as well as +1/+1 for his melee attack and his carapace is Nurchio. Marines do burn down this Overlord, just trying to scout things out. Blood falling onto the ground below. +1 on the way for Bjorn, transitioning into more of a standard bio play, which again makes a lot of sense against Zerg, and actually starting to move out with his Marines and his Marauders.
Yeah, interesting enough as well, as previously pointed out here, we have Nurchio going with the melee upgrades rather than Roach Ravager upgrades, which is something we traditionally see from him a lot more often, especially from what we've seen against him play against Terran. So this is a little bit curious to see how he plays this out. Maybe perhaps he's going to use this wonderful and wonderful economy that he has to go straight to Hive and get Ultralisks. I think that perhaps could be his end game here. If he survives that long, we'll see.
Yeah, very dangerous though, especially considering these stimmed Marines and Marauders completely locked down to this natural base. Some Roaches and some Lings try to come in here, but great positioning on the Marines and the Marauders. They need to be careful not to overstim, but they are absolutely massacring these drones. 18 drones have died. These Roaches trying to take care of them as well. Lings, excellent stutter step micro from these units, killing what they can. Again, so low on health, can't really afford to stim anymore, but wow, just being so cost effective with those units.
Yeah, the army supply is telling tale. More than double for Bjorn right now, as the worker count is largely even. So with Bjorn having a about 20 supply lead ahead of his Zerg opponent, that's an excellent position for a Terran to be in, and Nurchio needs to think of some sort of defense real fast, as he had nothing to deal with this bio. No, he didn't have any upgrades, no Roach speed at the time, no Banelings on the field, just now having Ravagers, but will it be enough?
I really don't know, because these Marines are looking very upset. They do have the +1 attack here, taking some damage. Crocobile being thrown down, but 3 Ravagers against this many Marines and a Marauder, not great. Look at them just stutter stepping their way on through, again locking down this natural base, chasing down more and more drones. 8 drones have died. Reinforcing Marines are getting picked off. A bit of a miss micro there from Bjorn, but in the end, these guys are trying to take down the hatchery, trying to kill as many Lings and Ravagers as they can, and then picking up and boosting into the main base, forcing Nurchio to go all a long way around to try to deal with this Queen, desperately spining as best as she can, being forced to retreat there as well, and just standing in great positioning here, finally lifting up and boosting out once again. Crocobile trying to chase these down, trying to anticipate the locations of the medevacs, landing on the low ground once again. This harassment is never ending. More and more Marines pushing up as well, getting that +1 armor at the same time. More Marines in production, more supply depots, and finally starting to get cleaned up here by Nurchio. But no more reinforcing Marines have arrived, and that's it, a GG. The continued pressure just too much from Bjorn, and Bjorn thinks game number 1.
Yeah, pressure overwhelming in this case for Bjorn, as he takes game number 1 of this best of 7 in the Gauntlet the Gauntlet StarCraft Legacy of the Void Series Global Finals. This is the Grand Finals, guys. A lot of money on the line, and Bjorn wants it, and he wants it bad. Showing excellent play. Again, let's keep that in mind. He was doing that off of 2 normal bases, against a guy who had a gold base and another gold. Well, I guess you say 2 extra gold bases, but one was mining quite healthily that whole time. But again, he sacrificed a lot to do that, and he was trying to get some tech. All the while, that wasn't units, and especially not the right composition. He was going for the melee attacks, but he didn't have a Baneling nest or Banelings on the field, let alone Baneling speed to help chase away some of that stimmed bio. It was a pretty bad position that he was in. He was cutting corners, in other words, tech-wise, and it cost him that game.
Indeed it did. And yeah, like you said, he might have been trying to rush towards a particular tech, didn't really have enough by way of defense, and Bjorn took advantage of that. I have to imagine Nurchio will have learned from that mistake and perhaps have more units ready from those little timing pushes that Bjorn is so fond of.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, look, here's a look at the bracket. Nice and fully updated. Look at what we have witnessed today on the mainstream here and also on the B stream. Look at the journeys these guys have taken. Let's look at Nurchio here. Started off against Senin. Probably a little bit of scare he had there. I'd love to watch that series versus the unheralded Polish Zerg Senin. 2-1, Nurchio ultimately victorious there. And then Violet, Violet taking out Jokji in what I predicted Jokji to take that series, but well played by Violet. 2-1, then falling ultimately to the surging Nurchio. Then Bly making his way through a pretty tough side of the bracket as well, but getting absolutely bonked by his teammate Nurchio. On the other side of the bracket we saw, a lot of crazy games apparently. Some of them were on the B stream, such as Neeb versus True, 100% what I'm going to look at as soon as I get home. Cannot wait to watch that matchup. That was on the B stream, guys. That's twitch.tv/Gauntlet SC2B. That's going to be insane to see. But yeah, he beat True 2-1, but then ultimately fell to Bjorn 2-1. Also a series. Spectacular stuff here. We got Polt had a walkover. Let's actually go straight to that here. Polt had a walkover over Myungshik. A little bit unfortunate turn of events there. Myungshik didn't end up showing up, but, awesome player. Love Myungshik. Just a little bit unfortunate. Maybe he slept in or something. But then Mana defeated Apocalypse 2-0 and then took out Polt in a big upset there. A lot of fans of Polt were a little bit
moderately
sad
upset. Yep, just a little bit.
Yeah, Polt's a super favorite. I love Polt. He's my brother's favorite player. He's he's a legend, really. Captain America for a reason. But either way, Mana fought his way valiantly, deserved his way. Deserved to make it to the semifinals, but then ultimately lost to a super close series to Bjorn. And now we have ourselves in these grand finals, which we're loaded up right now. Map 2 of this best of 7, guys. To the south, we have the Red Zerg from Team Acer. It is Nurchio.
And to the north, we have the Blue Terran player currently leading 1-0 in this best of 7. It is Bjorn.
Okay, Orbital Shipyard. Very drop-friendly map, or if you're so inclined, Mutalisks. Although that being said, it's hard to get the Mutalisks, I think, as Zerg if you're playing against Bjorn. He doesn't let you do things. He just puts the pressure on and then lets you wilt underneath it. I think Nurchio is a top-end player. If anybody could withstand it, it is this man. But I guess we're going to see whatever. I think Bjorn sets the tempo, and Nurchio will have to dance to that tune. And we'll see how he reacts.
And really, that's what it's been all about for Zergs in StarCraft 2 for its entire history. Just kind of a reactive race, responding to exactly the strategies used by Terran and Protoss, or reading them accurately and then trying to win that way. However, I do feel like with the advent of Ravagers, that the Zerg does have an option for a Roach Ravager attack here, especially on a map with a wide ramp like this one, to where they can actually cause some pressure onto that third base and really force the issue themselves. So we'll see if that's something that Nurchio can manage to do, or again, if Bjorn's pressure will make that not possible and he'll be on the back foot most of the time.
Yeah, we got a Reaper on the way here. Again, not a... Oh, here we go. We got a couple... got a barracks here going down as... Actually, there's 2 barracks. No, a barracks and a... What in the world? That's another barracks. Sorry, the other one just finished transforming. It looked weird from this angle, okay? Sorry, we got two racks Reaper here, but...
3 racks.
3 racks. There's a third racks right behind that. Well, third one is that is what I was saying. The third rack's it was just being finished. 3 racks Reaper is what I meant. Holy cow! Give me a break. It's been 8 hours. Sorry.
I'll give you a break.
Breaks. I know. Publicly shamed, but no, that's okay. All right, so we have Reapers going on the way as Bjorn is using his patented aggression. We'll see how Nurchio responds to this. He has a couple lings here, but they are not going to catch this Reaper as long as Bjorn is controlling it. And we all know Bjorn's control is pretty dang good.
Absolutely. They did force the Reaper out onto the high ground there, taking some shots, almost dead, but no, the Reaper does manage to survive. That's a huge moment for Bjorn.
Thanks for proving me right there, Bjorn. Thanks. Oh, so close.
That was so close to looking bad for you. Combat drugs, that's the glowy stuff going on these Reapers, getting their health back up to 100% before they move back on in with the rest of their friends. Good dodging that time with the Queen, getting some acid spines on out. Good moving back on the micro of that wounded Reaper. Once again, the Lings try to move on in. They don't quite have speed yet. The Queen count looking good. 10 Lings in production for Nurchio. If he can get Speedling, get a surround on the existing Reapers, he should be able to put a halt on this. But in the meantime, it is just a micro back and forth, trying to avoid those KD8 charges as much as possible. They do 10 damage, which is a problem because it slowly whittles down the health of the Queens. As you notice, 2 of them already in the red, 1 in the yellow.
Low.
KD8 charge knocking his own Reapers back, though, and they're trying to hunt down these Queens, killing 1, focusing down the other one as well. Can they get it? Yes. The second Queen does end up falling.
Yeah, speed for Zerg, the Zerglings are about 3/4 of the way done, so they cannot get the surround or chase down these Reapers as of yet, and Bjorn is using this time wisely. As already shown, he took out 2 Queens and a lot of Zerglings, applying the pressure, forcing Nurchio to do things he doesn't want to do, such as build more Zerglings, where he wants to be building drones to saturate his natural. So this is really good. The worker count is now in favor of Bjorn as he's building SCVs behind this, as well as still continuing production of Reapers.
Just absolutely playing this to a T. To this point, he has only lost 2 of his Reapers, killing 26 Lings and 3 Queens.
Wow.
In the process. Just super effective play here from Bjorn. The APM for both these players, absolutely insane. 230 average to this point for Bjorn. And again, Roaches are out, which is going to help quite a bit. But even with KD8 charge and their basic attacks, Reapers can handle small numbers of Roaches. I don't think our friend Nurchio is out of the woods yet.
Yeah, that is a lot of Reapers on the field here. Definitely have to be respected, especially with those charges. Being laid down, throwing up comically. Oh, hits his own units there. A little bit unfortunate. But at least his units heal really quickly when out of battle.
They do, and Roaches, not so much unless they're burrowed, and burrow has not been researched yet. But slowly pushing down this ramp, regaining some of his own main base here, is Nurchio throwing down a creep tumor to extend the creep out, increase the speed of his Queens and his Roaches all the way out to that ramp area. And it is 35 to 34 harvesters. Nurchio technically up. Now down again, just kind of fluctuating back and forth, but even. But that means with the advent of Mules, our Terran player, Bjorn rather, is actually up in that income tab.
Yeah, we got a 3rd command center going down for our Korean Terran friend here, as he's looking to macro his way throughout this game, just letting Nurchio rather know that he is on his front doorstep, looking to push away these Reapers. Is Nurchio, but it's going to be a little bit difficult, especially with a lot of charges available here, as he's showing off right now.
Yep, throwing them down in the exact same area. Pow, 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 said the KD8 charges. And meanwhile, back in the Terran base, items being researched, +1 attack, Marines, Marauders, and a Starport standard MMM composition on the way here for Bjorn. The Reapers really want to get one last hurrah in like they did in game number 1. The longer this goes on, the more useless they're going to be. They're going to try to hop on in and try to find some additional drones to kill, forcing a cancel possibly. That drone coming in to attack these Reapers. What on earth are you doing, drone? No, don't do that. And focused, and does end up dead. KD8 charge knocking those Ravagers back. Ravagers with the extra range do fairly well against the Reapers as well, but one of the Ravagers does end up dead. Technically, Ravagers are not light units. They don't take extra damage here at all. So here we go again, sitting here on the high ground, now taking his 3rd base is Nurchio, continuing to drone up behind this, getting +1 attack on his melee ground units and his Carapace, and a lair at the same time. Whoa!
GG. Well, a little bit surprising there, but I mean, let's look at the situation here. The worker count was largely even. 3rd base was now just being taken by Nurchio, where it was landing, and it was already a orbital command for Bjorn. Just look at that army supply, 42 army supply to 33 for the Zerg. That was, yeah, I mean, that was a pretty bad situation already for Nurchio. And knowing you're playing against a player the caliber of Bjorn, you need to be a miracle worker to get ahead in that game, especially with that constant aggression. He knew it was only a matter of time before that 3rd was going down, and then the aggression train would not stop, and he knew he did not have the production to sustain it, considering how much larva he used to create those Lings. He lost, I don't even know how many Lings were lost, probably at least 30 Lings died to those Reapers. So that's a massive loss. So well played by Bjorn, taking the game taking the series so far to 2-1. This is a best of 7, so keep that in mind. Nurchio is not out of it quite yet.
No, absolutely not. We have our teams set up right here. Observers are ready to go. Casters are ready to go as well. Moving on in here to game number 3. Been a quick game 1 and 2. We'll have to see. Will Bjorn go with the same 3 racks Reaper opening that is so difficult to handle, or will Nurchio perhaps be ready for it and handle it a little bit well? Then he better than he did in game 1 and game 2. Is Nurchio going Terran? Nurchio is currently selected as Terran. There we go. Now he's at Zerg. Good catch there. Let's get this started up.
Maybe you want to switch things up, I guess. Perhaps. Actually, looks like.
Oh, wait. Did you just leave?
Are they in the game?
Did you get booted?
Did you get invited? He canceled it by leaving. But it didn't.
Oh, no. We're going to have to redo this one, I guess.
All right, no big deal. Just going to restart the lobby. There, as the admin got booted somehow. All right, guys, this is the Gauntlet StarCraft Legacy of the Void Global Finals. This is the grand finals of this event with Nurchio versus Beyond. Beyond up 2-1 in the best of 7. A lot of money on the line, guys. $650 for first, $200 for second. We had a lot of sick games this event. Guys, thanks so much for those who've been watching this whole time and those who may have just recently tuned in. This best 7 is still continuing, so we have a lot of awesome StarCraft ahead of us yet. I'm Bobby Awesome. With me is the ever so effervescent of Falcon. I don't even know if that's a real word, but I just made it up. I just said it.
Effervescent is absolutely a word. It's great. It's a good word.
I'm pretty sure it's a word, but I don't even know how it applies to you. So, but it does. So there it is, guys. Also, guys, please do check out this event is sponsored, guys, by Ctone. You may see him around in the community and in chat, and the Gauntlet crew. Follow them on Twitter at GauntletSC2 for Gauntlet updates and other cool stuff. Show them some love to make this event possible. Also, hit up that follow button right here on Twitch, right underneath the stream screen, to get notified of future Gauntlet events. We are actually right now into the next map, guys. Map 4 of this best of 7. Nurchio versus Beyond. Beyond up 2-1. What an epic day of StarCraft so far, Falcon, and this series is offering up a few surprises of its own.
Indeed, my good friend. And actually, no, it's a 3-0 lead for Beyond right now. Because remember, he won game number 1 on Prion Terraces.
Is it 3-1, really?
No, 3-0.
3-0? What am I on? He didn't even win a game? Holy cow. That's why I don't do math on air. Because I'm the worst with numbers. That's math, man. Anything with numbers, I'm the worst. Everybody knows this. It's fact. All right, guys.
It's hour 8.
This is incredible. So, jeez. All right, guys. To the north, we have the purple Terran. It is Beyond.
And far, far away in the bottom right of the map, we have the red Zerg player taking an early hatch. It is Acer's Nurchio.
Awesome sauce. I'm still confused. I thought Nurchio won a game.
Okay, hang on. So the first game was on Prion Terraces, right? The 2 early gold expansions.
How do we not know this? This is terrible. I should be writing this
I know. Down. We really should be. Admins, help us out.
We're admins. I'm pretty sure it was 2-1 lead going into the series.
Into this game?
Yeah, I thought it was 2-1 leading into the series. Yeah, leading to this game. Sorry, yeah, my bad. Either way, guys, we have this game coming up. We'll figure that out. But this is how bad it is, guys. No sleep.
We're the worst. Help us out, Twist Cat. What's the series at right now? Oh man, this is so embarrassing.
That's terrible. He's saying 2-0 right now. Pretty sure. So he's saying this is the third game. Is our admin?
Okay, so Prion Terraces win for Beyond. Orbital Shipyard win for Beyond. Okay, perfect, wonderful.
All right,
we're on the same page.
I guess we just blended all the games together. But that's what happens when you're having fun, Falcon. Numbers don't matter. You
start losing, and your brain starts to fall apart. That's the best part.
Oh yeah.
So the Reaper running around does got the wrong direction to find our friend Acer Nurchio, which buys a little bit of time for Nurchio to make this happen. Immediately getting links, starting that Roach Warren again, about halfway complete, perhaps a little bit earlier than in the first 2 games here. Goodness. And again, it's another 3 racks Reaper opening. This reminds me of the 5 racks Reaper that was so devastating to Zergs back in Heart of the Swarm in the early, or was it Wings of Liberty? Either way, it was absolutely brutal until they basically buffed the Roach range to make Zergs able to withstand it. But for now, the 3 racks Reaper seems to be pretty darn good indeed. Moving on into this base, Queen's getting some spines on out. Immediately, Roaches are popping, though. 2 Roaches on the way. 3 more Reapers on the way as well. KDA charge knocking those units back. And again, just trying, extending a little bit too far. And they need to stay on that creep so they can have the speed advantage that allows them to catch up with Reapers. Because if they move on out, it is pretty much goodbye time for them to anybody with any good micro. And Beyond definitely falls into that category.
It's a little harder to execute considering the size of this map and the cross positions of this. So this is going to be a little bit harder for Beyond to do the same sort of damage he did in the last game. And roaches are out in a timely manner. A lot of queens here to deal with this as well. So I think Nurtio is actually in a pretty good position right now. Worker count is about even. Although anything else not workers being built by Nurtio right now is a win for Beyond. So as we see 4 drones on the way for Nurtio as he realizes that as well.
Indeed. Continued pressure here from the Reapers, just kind of hanging on out and getting that combat drugs up to 100%. Moving back on in. The Roaches catch a huge group of them, though, taking one of them down. It does know to blow them back, but I think they'll go ahead and take that in exchange for killing a Reaper. Right now, 3 Reapers have fallen for 1 drone and 2 Zerglings. Nurtio playing this a much, much better. Lings and Roaches ready again on this spot as well. And Beyond, again, this isn't a 1-base all-in, but he didn't do as much damage as he needed to with these Reapers, and that it might open an avenue for Nurtio to take this game number 3.
Yeah, this is a much better situation for Nurtio. In fact, I'm questioning the thought process here for Beyond, why he would choose to do it on such a large map. Maybe he was just gambling that it would be different positions or something. I'm not entirely sure what was going through his mind, and in the end, this is definitely not paid off. Worker count is starting to skyrocket for our Red Zerg player. He's still on 2 bases, hasn't quite planned on taking a 3rd by the looks of it, but he's just powering up, getting some upgrades, getting some roaches, and just defending against these Reapers that ultimately haven't done a whole lot, and they did cost a lot to make. A lot was sacrificed for Beyond to do this.
Yep, absolutely. For sure, Zerg player in a good position. Again, getting +1 melee attack and +1 carapace. I'm not sure if, again, the plan is to get to Ultras eventually, starting these upgrades so early. And now that he's actually handled the Reaper harass, he might be well on his way to doing that. Should be looking at taking a 3rd base as well, as long as the Reapers don't scout it and try to shut it down. Exactly as happens. Oh, the drone does not get the hatchery down, just barely in time. Roach is forced to move on out away from the creep to shoo the Reapers away. Multiple KD8 charges, 2 of them actually hitting the Roaches, knocking them back again, 10 damage. Every single time one of those goes off and knocks a unit back. Lair all the way for Nurtio, and there goes the 3rd base.
It's going to be another biocomposition here by Beyond as he's powering up, getting Stims. Stims about to finish, +1 attack. Almost done as well. KD8 charges, trying to apply a little bit of damage here on this 3rd base. That's actually not bad at all. Just keeping the Nurtio's attention, splitting it around, making him try to make him make a little bit of mistakes here and there, and that is how you get back into this game. As Nurtio is ahead, but I wouldn't say very far, as the macro of Beyond is for real, and he's doing quite an excellent job of getting up his own 2-base economy as we speak.
Metabolic boost just about to finish here. Glial reconstitution and now on the way for Nurtio. Again, those upgrades, the +1/+1 for the melee units, just about to finish. More roaches in production, and that 3rd base about 60% complete as well. It's going to be Lings from now on for Nurtio. 12 Lings on the way, and a roach Ling composition against this many Marines, this Marauder, and this many Reapers. It could be fairly dangerous. Ravagers do show up, though, just in time. That's exactly what Nurtio needed, and here comes the attack.
Yeah, Nurtio is in actually an excellent position. Nice splitting of the units here. Oh, nice KD8 charges on those Ravagers and Roaches. Splitting of the army is Beyond here, trying to make something happen, actually working way right in the fog of war. I like this. Going to walk right up this ramp, seeing if he can do some terrible damage. Evaporating these Lings with the stem very fast. Might even pick off a queen, a couple roaches here as well. Going to try to get some worker kills as he pressures the natural base of Nurtio.
And then picks up a boost on out, moves into the main base again, forcing the Ravagers and the Roaches to move the long way around here. Medevacs have no boost available. I'm not sure they want to come on in, just because, again, Ravagers and Roaches are waiting for them. They're just going to hang out, wait for a better time to drop back on in, and the Overlords are actually preventing a 3rd base from going down for Beyond, assuming he wants to expand to those positions.
Oh, man. Nice getting some kills here. 4 drones going down with these ever-present Reapers here. Still getting, finally getting their money's worth, I guess, in the end. Keeping them alive. I like that he didn't decide to just throw them away, finding a little hole here and there in the defense of Nurtio and making something happen. Now it looks like we have a drop moving across the map for Beyond. That's a double drop indeed. Looking to, again, split the APM of Nurtio throughout these bases. With this map, That's the one disadvantage of it as a Zerg player. That's a long way to defend from your main base to your third base. And especially with the wide open air on this map too, drops are deadly. And Bjorn looks to try to exploit that soon.
Yep, Ravagers again trying to hoof their way on over to catch these bio units. Infestors are on the way, and +2/+2 melee and Carapace coming up for the Zerg player at the same time. So continuing to use Infestors to go ahead and hold on here into the low game, finally breaking the rocks into his own base. There is Nurchio, and a big attack into the main. It does get shoved away by the small group of Ravagers and Roaches. Again, the +1/+1 helping a lot with those Roaches and Ravagers. +1/+1 is here on the Marines as well, which just makes it an even footing. Speedlings taking a few casualties along with the Roach Acid Saliva, and picking up and boosting out once again here is Bjorn.
Yeah, excellent defense by Nurchio. He had an excellent allocation of his army to properly defend cost efficiently against the multi-pronged attack of Bjorn, and did very little damage, if anything at all. We do have a command center going down here, almost done in fact, for Bjorn, as he's trying to macro out of this 2-base situation he has found himself in. This is something he actually needs, possibly a little bit later than he would have liked, looking at the economic situation of Nurchio, as we have Hive on the way for a Zerg player, and Infestors. Yes, that would be Infestors.
Pathogen glands.
But
yep.
pathogen glands being researched. This is, I was just going to mention, too, I'm like, wow, well, Nurchio, is this really you? We haven't seen, we haven't seen fungal bile yet.
The fungal bile.
Fungal bile we may just see this game.
Absolutely true. Getting +2 attack on his infantry weapons is Bjorn at this point. Just trying to make his units as cost effective as possible. The pathogen glands just about to finish. The Infestors should have enough energy to maybe handle this. The Hive on the way at the same time. More Roaches in response to this huge push of a very Marine heavy composition. A drop in the back as well. Does get fungal or corrosive bile to death there. The Lings roll on into soak up a bunch of damage. Backside as well with the Lings. A full wraparound here. And taking down a bunch of them, forcing the medevacs to pick up and lift off. The tanks get destroyed as well. Nurchio, the swarm is looking good right now.
Yeah, why does he not do this build every single time? This is amazing. He's so good with Roach Ravagers, and now with the inclusion of Infestors on the field with that fungal bile, super excellent tactic used, first seen by us anyway, me in particular, from Nurchio in the qualifiers for the EU. EU qualifies for the global finals, and this is exactly what we're seeing right here. It is a very powerful style that Nurchio seems to have mastered in the early stages of Legacy of the Void, as he applies the pressure onto Bjorn's side of the map.
Ultra Cavern on the way, exactly as we expected. Pneumatized Carapace also being researched for Nurchio. He wants those Overlords to be fast. And what was that we just missed there? Either way, trying to knock down these front rocks, or some Ravagers and some Lings will be able to get there before the tanks show up. A couple more volleys should be able to do it, and yes, they do take down the rocks and then retreat. Happy enough to have opened that path into the main base. That third base, though, for Bjorn is pretty darn exposed. There's really nothing protecting it. Does Nurchio know it's there? He doesn't know it's there. He's sending an Overlord now. He does scout it out, but the Marines are going to take down that Overlord. The Lings try to run in and do some more damage with the entire army here as well. Nurchio, good surround as well. Coming from both sides, the flank from the top side. Corrosive Bile is being thrown down, doing some damage to the medevacs as well, pushing on in. The SCVs are forced to fight for their own lives. A fungal on top of all of those Marines. Corrosive Bile coming from the air, hitting everything. Roaches, Infestors, Ravagers doing it. That's a GG from Bjorn, and Nurchio pulls it within 2 games to 1.
Well played by Nurchio. That is Nurchio we saw in the EU qualifiers. Actually, no, I take that back. That was the AM qualifiers, the American qualifiers that we had for the Gauntlet global finals. Excellent play. I mean, if I were to only have seen that game, I would almost say that was Nurchio outclassing Bjorn. I mean, we know better than that. It was just, he had the build. The opening, I'd say, for Bjorn was a lot less effective on that map than it was in the previous game, and that set him behind right from the get-go. But nonetheless, excellent follow-up by Nurchio, and he took advantage of it pretty hard.
For sure, but I feel like Nurchio's response to it was better. He got the Roach Warren out earlier. He had Roaches ready to go. He had units up on particular places where the Reapers were likely to bounce on up and were ready for them. And in the end, just held that much better, again, because he was ready for it, prepared for it earlier, didn't drone up as hard, and in the end was rewarded by not losing as many drones as he did in Games 1 and Game 2.
Yeah, I completely agree with that assessment, Falcon Paladin. Guys, this is Gauntlet StarCraft Legacy of the Void. series, global finals, best of 7 in this finals, guys. Nurchio versus Beyond, and it is now 2-1 in the series. As we
made it.
Yeah, I know. As we figured out. Oh, good times though. Good times. Watching StarCraft. You know, saying stupid things. It's all part of the experience.
That's what we're here for. It's part of the entertainment.
Yeah, indeed. All right, guys, we'll be heading into now we're gonna head into game number 4 of this best of 7. Really interested to see if Nurchio can tie this series up. I mean, he may have found his rhythm after that last game. Again, making adaptations according to what he's seen in the first 2 games from Byun, and perhaps maybe he's come to a point he's just solved the riddle, you know, like few others have done. I guess we'll find out right away if it was just a one-off or if there's more tricks up Byun's sleeve. All right, guys, to the south portion of this map, taking the previous game, the Blue Zerg, Nurchio.
And at the top of the map, we have the red Terran player leading 2 games to 1. It is Byun. Hey, that rhymed. How cute.
Oh, man, you're so skilled.
Am I a wordsmith, would you say?
That is what I've said, yes. That is the word I've used to apply to you in regards to that.
I'm glad to see that nothing has changed. I feel so good about that.
Yeah, exactly. It's comforting. All right, guys. Dusk Towers we have here with a nice hatch going down. Pretty standard opener, especially on a map like this for a Zerg player. We'll see what kind of aggression that our Terran friend here, Korean Terran buddy Byun, decides to do. Gonna get a Reaper here, likely just to get a Scouting Reaper, as it doesn't look like he's dropping any more racks as he did in the past few games.
Yeah, definitely saving up some more minerals to go for what looks like a Reaper expand with Command Center in the safe area back there on the Dusk Towers. Yeah. Makes a lot of sense on this map. And yeah, definitely up to that 400 mineral count. But what is he? Okay, so orbital commanding, and then, there we go, then throwing down the Command Center in the safe natural position.
Again, Nurchio taking his preferred first expansion on this map with the forward expansion, which allows faster creep spread, and if you are planning on doing an aggressive build, faster reinforcements at an earlier stage of the game. I like it. Just allows also to your third base to be a lot safer to take, being tucked away in the back at a stage of the game where you'll have units to defend it as well as the front of your base. Whereas taking if you took the back expansion as a Zerg player, securing that front expansion with no creep spread or little creep spread at that point is really hard to do, especially versus a Terran who pressures the front with perhaps Hellbats or Marine Marauder. It's a lot of things can go wrong, and I really like this choice from Nurchio, and I think every Zerg should be doing it.
Yeah, agreed. It should be standard on this map for sure. The Reaper heading on out, and the Lings say, all right, are you the first of many, or is it just you here today? He is getting a Roach Worm, but it's later than it was previously, so I feel like he recognizes this is not going to be a Reaper all-in from Byun, and instead going with the more standard timing on the Roach Worm, getting his worker count up where it needs to be, and just trying to deal with this Reaper as it is.
Yep, exactly. No commitment here to the Reapers, just really to be more an annoyance and a scout than anything else. As Byun's natural has just finished, turning now into a orbital command right now. Widowmine actually being produced, and a starport on the way. As Widowmine drops, again, seem to be the plan for Byun.
Yep, very, very effective, assuming you get them in the right spots. They don't get spotted immediately. And against Zerg especially, where they don't necessarily have a lair fairly early on, they don't throw spore crawlers down unless they see indications of banshees, usually, or some really heavy drops. An early Widowmine drop can do quite a bit of damage to a Zerg player, again, who's not fully attentive to what is happening. As the Reaper just continues to dance back and forth, the Queen chasing it far out onto the creep there. Actually, now back onto the safety of that creep, getting that speed boost that is so very, very important for the Queens. And basically a continued bio build here from Byun Marines. Medevacs, SCVs, supply depots, and roaches in production now for Nurchio.
Yeah, we've seen this from Byun before. He'll first start with this drop, follow up with a Liberator more often than not. In fact, there it is, immediately started after the Medevac finishes. Liberator comes and tries to apply constant pressure on his opponent, forcing him to make mistakes. He's done this build versus Protoss and now also against Zerg. So we'll see how well it works against Nurchio here. Nurchio is taking his third hatch. In fact, as this is all going down, also securing a gas. By the looks of it, this Reaper does get in. Scout sees what sees what Nurtio is up to as the drop enters the main base.
The medevac is swinging on in, trying to find an area to attack, and the Widowmine does get a burrow off, doing the shot on the Queen, not enough to actually kill it. Lings getting burned down as well by these Marines, picking up and boosting out again. He's done his damage, has Bjorn, and he's going to get right on out of there. Liberator heading down at the same time. Ravagers here, so nice against these drops. Again, the Corrosive Bile ability does hit both air and ground units in the area in a splash radius. So very good against medevacs that are kind of holding still. Good against Liberators as well that are in defender mode and can't really get out of the way of those Corrosive Biles quickly enough. But here it comes, swinging on in through this dead airspace on the map. Just touching the secret gold base that is available that nobody really ever takes. And there's that defender mode ability. The Ravagers come right on in, though, and enough Corrosive Bile is available to take it down. Wham, wham, thank you, ma'am.
Done.
Liberator is gone.
Yeah, that's the difference between Zerg and Protoss and dealing with the Liberator, especially at this time in the game. You get those Ravagers up, they deal with the Siege Liberator extraordinarily easily, where Stalkers tend to have a little bit more difficulty getting within range and dealing with them quickly enough before losing a ton of Stalkers. Again, also helpful is their splash damage using against mines, so that mine was cleaned up fairly quickly for Nurtio, as Bjorn didn't get any damage done with that attack and is a little bit behind because of it. Not game-endingly so, but nonetheless, it's he was expecting more damage and did not achieve said goal. That being said, he does have third CC down as well, I believe, if I read it correctly. Yes, he does indeed. And turning now into an orbital command as he's powering up his macro bio build that we've seen time and time again with tanks. I expect, if any previous games are indication, especially with these tanks in production, to a pain stream of Terran to go across the map, apply constant pressure to Nurtio, and maybe force mistakes and maybe even base cancellation of this fourth base on Nurtio's side of the map.
Small Ling push does get massacred by the Marines, but they did their job in scouting out the number of Marines that are coming out, and the number is big. 22 Marines are on the field, a single tank. This is a very Marine-heavy composition here. Stim just about to finish. I think he's going to wait for that to happen before he fully pushes on out, or maybe just playing defensive as well. A fourth base now coming up for Nurtio. Third base has been planted, as you said before, by Bjorn. Picking up the medevac, moving on down the middle here. Will it get scouted? However, there is a Viking coming down. Getting cleared. Overlord's getting cleared out of the way by these Vikings, so the medevacs don't get spotted. Oh, good play indeed, Bjorn. But I feel like Nurtio's smart enough to know what's coming if Vikings are clearing out Overlords along that side of the map.
It's a bit suspicious.
A little bit.
Yeah, this is a double drop, though. Pretty powerful. A lot of Marines in this composition. And we'll see if any damage can be done by it. The drop is now moving in towards the south part of the map. Likely to be dropped inside the main base. And, it indeed does. Right beside the Roach Warren. Focusing down drones instead. Some Roaches and Lings come in to try to defend. That is a lot of Marines and medevacs with a lot of energy. Absolutely mowing down those Lings and Roaches. Focusing down the Roach Warren before Roach Speed can finish. And he does indeed get it. Excellent. That is a huge win tech-wise for our Terran player.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a lot of Marines. 9 Marines in production right now. There are still Marines alive. Here in the main base, Lings are popping out, getting massacred immediately. Ravagers here as well, trying to throw down their acid saliva on top of everything that is here.
Oh, wow.
Finally
this is
forcing a pickup and a run. 14
let's look at this supply. 135 supply for Bjorn after this engagement, 106 for Nurtio. That is not even close to what a Zerg wants to be at, as he is getting Hive right now, actually. So, teching up really hard. Has his fourth base. Again, he didn't lose his fourth during all this. He did lose some drones and a lot of units, as well as tech structures, including his upgrade that was researching for Roach Speed on the Roach Warren. So this is a pretty big tech loss for the composition that Nurtio has chosen, and the pressure is continuing with drop tanks in tow here with a lot of Marines.
Yeah, it's a lot of Marines. Very Marine heavy. 54 Marines have been built so far on the field right now by Bjorn, getting pretty good splits here as well. He sees there are infestors on the field. The Hive just about to finish for Nurtio, but here comes the tank drop onto the high ground. Another drop back here as well, slowly getting cleaned up, but again, doing tons of damage. This hatchery is going to fall. The army is nowhere near being able to save it. for Nurchio, and indeed Beyond taking down Hatchery, replanting his own base down there at the same time. Ling's trying to run up and catch, reinforcing Marines, exactly what he tried to do, and succeeded in doing so. But it is still 152 to 134 total supply. These Marines almost have +2/+2 available, +2/+2 on the way for Nurchio, as well as Adrenal Glands and the Ultralisk Cavern. If he can get that out, the number of Marines that Beyond is holding on to will really end up hurting him.
Yeah, and we have Fungal Bile in tow, as in the previous game, but with a less of an advantage to utilize this for Nurchio, as he's trying to retake his 5th base. 4th isn't even mining at the moment, and he's starting to move across the map. Actually, probably try to assert some map control. No, the scan goes down. Still, Beyond pushing the issue here with whatever forces he has, but he has to be careful with his clump of Marines, because one single fungal will end this pretty quickly, despite any advantage that he has. We have Ultralisks on the way. The chitinous plating is also being researched, so we got a triple drop coming into the main base of Nurchio. Can Nurchio defend this as his own 4th base is under siege? Nice multi-pronged aggression here by Beyond.
I don't think Nurchio sees the drop in his main at all. He's fully focused on that 4th base that he just completely lost. Marines going after the spawning pool. If they can get that, that's a nice pickup for them as well. Ravagers and Roaches running this way and that, trying to clean up what they can. Lings using their Ling speed to respond as quickly as possible. But man, these Marines, so many Marines, 50 Marines are still on the field here. Fungal, and there's the Bile to finish off those Medivacs. Huge pickup there by Nurchio. And where are the Ultras? They need to be here. Marines have a really hard time killing them. Again, here comes the Ultra Abs cleaving his way through a bunch of those Marines. Fungals on top of everything at the same time. More Corrosive Bile as well. Everybody gets cleaned up. The Medivacs escape with 4 Marines inside, but that is about it. Another drop getting cleaned up, well positioned by Beyond, but not exactly doing as much damage as anticipated. And a lone tank also getting surrounded by Lings, and pretty much evaporated at this point.
Yeah, chitinous plating wasn't even done yet, just now finishing up for Nurchio. What an excellent engagement. Exactly what Nurchio needed to try to claw back into this game, and now he's going to counter. Ghosts are actually heading onto the field. There are a lot of Widow Mines here and a lot of Marines. No Marauders, as he's opting for Ghost production instead to deal with these chitinous plated Ultralisks. Right now, there's a lot of Infestors on the field as well. This is going to be a pretty dicey hold here for our Korean Terran player as he try to make something happen as the engagement occurs right now.
Steady aiming being used.
My God. Oh my goodness.
Whoa. You know, I wanted to see what happened.
Hashtag ghosts, guys. That's...
It's
yeah, for those of you haters,
right?
so people who hated that ability and scoffed at it when they first announced it, I'm like, no, it'll be good. It'll be good versus Ultralisks. There, we just saw it. It's really good versus Ultralisks. Holy cow, that ended quick. It was looking so good, dude, at the initial stage, but those, yeah, who needs Marauders when you can get Ghosts?
That timing really worked out.
Wow, perfect timing too. It was just enough time to get out those Ghosts. A critical amount, put them on the high ground. Excellent positioning. Boom, done. Oh wow, guys! Now we're gonna head into game number 5. Beyond ahead 3-1 in this best of 7, guys. It is match point. What a spectacular game. Interesting how my monitor keeps turning off here. It'll turn back on, I guess, at some point.
All right, so those of you unfamiliar, it's steady aiming, right? Is that what it's called? Or like steady, not steady shot?
If you haven't noticed, I'm terrible with names.
I know, I think it's steady aiming. But basically, the Ghosts are able to aim at something. If they're not damaged, not interrupted, they do 150 damage that ignores armor on their target. So it's kind of like Snipe used to be, but it's not as instant as it was in Heart of the Swarm and Wings of Liberty. And so it's a little bit harder. Yes, it's channeled a little bit harder to use. But when they're on the high ground like that and nothing is bothering them whatsoever, perfect positioning on those Ghosts, and those Ultras just absolutely melted.
Yeah, that was... I mean, I gotta say, that's the first time I've seen that before, and you know what? That's the awesome thing about Legacy of the Void. All is new under the sun here for Legacy of the Void, guys. We're gonna be heading into match point here for Beyond, as he is up 3-1 versus Nurchio in the Gauntlet StarCraft Legacy of the Void series Global Finals. I'm Bobby Awesome. With me is the ever savant level Falcon Paladin. I'm running out of genius terms. Is Falcon Paladin. Okay, guys, to the north we have the purple Terran player up 3-1. It is Beyond.
And to the direct south on Larilat Crest, we have the red Zerg player down 3-1. It is Acer's Nurchio.
Oh, man. This is a nice big map, but they aren't cross positions, so we'll see a different style of game, which is nice. This will favor Beyond heavily, I believe.
I'm just watching chat go nuts after the end of that last game.
Yeah, oh, man. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah,
Twistcat's head collectively exploded.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, wow.
Like, I can't even read it.
Replay. Going full Hydra.
Oh, wow. Instagib.
Oh, Twistcat. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for this whole event, guys. Absolute blast to see you guys and read this chat from time to time. Wish I had time to reply to more of you guys. It's pretty insane. Thanks so much, guys. All right, guys, this could be the final game, but guys, don't count Nurchio out yet, as he has proven his worth in this matchup and in this series so far. He's had really good games, had moments where he's come back. I mean, he almost did it in that previous game, but then, you know, Bjorn just laid the hammer down and just said no, and that's pretty much what happened, as Bjorn's word is truth, apparently. So
it was such an interesting strategy, too. I mean, just going for pure Marine, basically being carried by Marine tank through most of the game. Yeah, and then realizing, no Marauders at all, realizing that Ultras were coming and just basically timing it perfectly. So when the Ultras popped, the Ghosts were ready and bam, they were gone. Just beautiful, beautiful play from Bjorn.
Yeah, that's... I cannot wait to rewatch that game. Actually, I also want to see the replay. I can't wait till the replay pack gets released too. That'll be absolutely amazing to see. Cannot wait. What crazy games we've seen, Falcon. What an adventure we've had today in this Gauntlet Global Finals. All right, we got a Reaper here, putting a little bit of pressure on Nurchio's side of the map. Just being a nuisance more than anything. He is not 3 racks Reapering here in this game, playing a little bit more standard. But what does standard even mean with this guy? As his mid game is often where the magic happens.
Indeed. And Jay Peterman in Twistcat did inform me it's called steady targeting. So thanks to Jay Peterman for the information there. Steady targeting it is, we'll never forget, based on that amazing event. Lings are up here trying to, actually, they do delay the construction of the command center just a bit. The Reaper forced to clean up this Ling harassment, this Ling nuisance. Another SCV gonna fall.
He does.
Wow, 2 SCVs falling to these Lings. A little bit of a sloppy micro there, I'd say, from Beyond. But finally cleaning up all the Lings is that Reaper doing his job as a pest controller. But again, the delay on the command center is a big deal.
Super annoying as a Zerg player. As the Terran player for that to happen. I mean, a very good foresight by Nurchio just to take down that lower ground, lower ground worker, that CC being built. But we do have roaches on the way, 7 being built, and drones being built up behind this, as well as a couple extra roaches. So it's not looking to end the game as he is droning up behind this, but he is going to apply the pressure. Is Nurchio.
Absolutely.
Widowmine's going to burrow too, and gets burrowed. Will take the health off the Roach. The Roach gets picked off by the rest of the Marines. There is a bunker here, which is pretty nice. Will help defend this natural with a little bit more effectiveness. But there's a here we have a Ravager on the field and a healthy number of Roaches. So Nurchio is looking to put some pretty heavy damage here on Bjorn's expansion.
Crocevile being thrown down on those bunkers again, so very, very useful against bunkers. A Mule actually repairing as well. These Roach units here slowly being whittled on down. Moving up as well, trying to kill individual Marines. Roaches are pretty good in these numbers against Marines, but not quite enough to get through that bunker, especially considering the Ravagers got targeted down. Another Widowmine shot takes a lot of health off both of those Roaches, and here comes a drop from our friend Bjorn. What can he do with it? We will have to wait and see.
Well, this is interesting. There isn't a whole lot at home for Nurchio to deal with, unless there's something hidden in his main base. But it is spotted by that Overlord towards the north of Nurchio's main, as this drop of Marines is looking to take some economic damage to Nurchio's side of the map.
Yep, single Queen here trying to defend. She is not nearly enough to deal with this number of Marines. The drones feeling like it's safe, but no, instead forced to back out again, and the Queen doesn't dead. Queen number 2 comes out just in time to force to be flee for her life as well. A couple of Roaches are here, but not that many. More and more Roaches popping out, and that might be time for Bjorn to recognize it's time to get on out of there, and he does. But again, having killed 6 workers at the expense of just a couple Marines, really didn't lose that much.
No, that was an extraordinarily cost-effective attack by Beyond. It wasn't meant to end the game, but it did, again, took out 6 drones that are now have to be remade. That's larva that that Nurture will not have to deal with this push that is happening right now. Beyond looking to put some pressure on here, possibly even try to close out this series in this Gauntlet Global Finals.
Indeed, the Roaches are ready to go here. Spore Crawler trying to be planted, focusing down the Marines, not really worrying about the tank right now. The tanks trying to snipe, or the Queens trying to snipe down that medevac, and they do get the medevac. That's a nice job, but all that's left really to defend are Queens, and Queens against 2 tanks, never a good spot to be in at all for Nurture, being forced to use melee attacks and ranged attacks, getting rid of one of the tanks. Finally, the other one picks up, decides to move in up, but guess what? Continued pressure here coming out from Beyond. Nurture continuing to produce Queens, getting a lair and a couple evolution chambers, not really making attacking units. I'm not sure if this is going to work out for him.
Yeah, another tank is on the field. Liberator here, too, to help dig the thorn deeper into the side of Nurture as the pressure is on at the natural. This is, remember, a 2-base Terran versus a 2-base Zerg, not a position a Zerg wants to be in at any stage in the game. As the tanks are sieged up, the Liberator blocking that ramp, actually sniping down these Queens super fast.
The Queens.
Oh, man. Excellent micro here, moving away these tanks as fast as he can with one single medevac, and doing a respectful job at that. That's absolutely amazing. The work he put in with that medevac with 2 tanks.
Yeah, the tank's still alive, low on hit points, but you know what? You still do full damage even if you're low. The tank's out in position. The Liberator as well, just setting up this siege here. Oh, Defender mode, killing one of the Ravagers there. More and more Roaches in production here, but he has just Nurture in a complete stranglehold right now. Are the Roaches able to reach that tank? No, they can't. They thought they could. Not able to reach that tank whatsoever. Corrosive Bile being thrown on down, trying to kill this here Liberator. That seems to be the priority now. Not enough Corrosive Bile to actually do it. Will this tank go down as well? This Liberator just absolutely destroying. Has 8 kills already. Finally does end up getting taken down by Corrosive Bile. But once again, Beyond just in a total dominating position right now. 54-48 total Harvesters, 2-base to 2-base. Nurture needs to make something happen.
What am I seeing? This is unbelievable. I mean, Beyond's constant pressure, sending little hit squad after hit squad to reinforce his forward aggression, like a Marine and a tank at a time, sending it over across this map. Again, I knew this would go into the favor of Beyond's style, with them spawning on the same side of the map on Lair Crest. And but now Beyond had decided to pull back, take his own third, and he's in an absolutely excellent position with an 8-worker lead right now, and a supply lead at that. This is a commanding position for our Purple Korean Protoss player. Protoss, I mean Terran. We all know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying. Nurture going for a +1 missile attack instead of melee this time. Probably not trying to go for ultras as he did in the previous game. But it's getting Carapace. Anyway, perhaps a Roach Ravager heavy composition with Galil Reconstitution and Infestors, as well as the Infestation Pit just popped on up for Nurture. SCV just kind of running around, seeing what it can see. 3 bases now fully up and functional, though. Again, 61 Harvesters on already up now for Beyond, knocking down those rocks as Nurture just kind of protect his 3rd base a little bit more. But guess what? It's been about 2 minutes. That means it's Beyond time.
if that, it's probably less than that, and Beyond decided, you know what, I got this itch, I got a scratch, and here he goes, aiming to drop. Actually, shoot away by these Queens, but more than anything else, it's just keeping Nurture on his toes.
Indeed, excellent response there by Nurture. But again, the medevac still kind of hunting around, trying to find areas to attack. Small group of Ravagers hanging out here as well. Can they stop and kill this creep tumor? No. Beyond has better places to be, bigger things to kill. Slowly meandering its way on over, and there's the boost to what exactly? I don't know. Checking for a 4th base? That was kind of weird.
I think he's trying to distract the army right now as his main force is moving down south towards the natural base of Nurture here. That's the main threat. Going on creep, doing the scan, clearing out some of this creep. That is quite a lot of Roaches and Ravagers here. Again, not a lot to kill this Roach Ravager army. No Marauders in the field. So Nurture's trying to claw his way back up, at least army composition-wise, but there's no way he's going to be able to crack the fortress Beyond right now, as Beyond is just teching up, macroing up. His economy is so good right now. Even on workers are both players, but with the mules as well off those CCs, we have an excellent economy here for Beyond to enter into this mid game.
Pathogen Glands just about to finish the timing perfect for Nurchio. It will be finished at about the same time these 4 Infestors hatch, giving them that extra energy. The drone almost throws down a hatch and thinks better of it, recognizing
like, nope.
there are 2 full medevacs right over its head. But again, dropping on in. Oh, the roaches are ready to go, though, forcing another pullback by Beyond. Nurchio has been on the spot with these drops. Another Marine push coming right on in here. A small group of roaches trying to come on in. They do have +1 Carapace, making them fairly good, but +1/+1 has already been researched on these Marines. But did force a pickup nonetheless. Another drop over here. Can we see a fungal bile? Entirely possible, but more drops in the main.
It's like 4 drops going on.
Nurchio must be going crazy. It's hard enough to cast
nice
a fungal on all of those units. Forced to pick up and run once again.
Yeah, no bile in tow, so he manages to escape with those medevacs and most of the units as well. Yeah, this is a multi-pronged attack of multi-pronged attacks. There's too many, I can't even count. This is a pretty large force by Nurchio, though, and it must be respected, especially with fungal in the arsenal. But he's splitting Nurchio's army up every which way as he's applying pressure down the center of the map. But these tanks are going to get picked off down the map, and he's forced to retreat.
Yeah, a fairly big push up the middle of the map here with Nurchio. This base has been entirely abandoned. More tank dropping everywhere. Right now, the EPM is 226, 200 plus for both of these players trying to get through the ramp as well. There's a single tank, but isn't enough. Corrosive Bile landing on all of these Marines. SCVs being forced to pull off the line as well. SCVs are getting absolutely massacred, but they are buying time for the Marines and the Marauders and the tanks to do the actual damage, and Yun can afford to do that.
Wow, that might be exactly what he needed to crush the primary force of Nurchio to get enough time so he could do some damage with the rest of the forces he has throughout this map. And there's just scrappy battles happening every which way. I cannot imagine how these players are doing it. 12 SCVs did go down to the 4 drones of Nurchio. The supply, though, is heavily in favor of Beyond right now at 132 to 100 of Nurchio, as this multi-pronged attack harassment is too light of a word for what Beyond is doing right now.
Yeah, it's just an absolute lockdown on all bases at all times by Beyond. Everywhere Nurchio thinks he's safe, another big group of +2/+2 Marines and Marauders come rolling on in. The Ravagers are split apart. Roaches are split apart as well. Upgrades looking very, very good again for these bio units. Pretty good concave, however, from the Zerg player, but no, it's not enough.
GG. Wow, that is absolutely incredible, guys. Beyond takes the series 4-1 over Acer's Nurchio. Wow, great heart from Nurchio, so guys, please do give him a hand. What an incredible, incredible series by both players. Beyond, though, what a beast! I've never seen, like, 17 drops happening at once before. I don't think I've seen that before. That was a lot. That wasn't just, triple drop. No. There was like 3 drops. Then he's moving army down the center. He had some tanks.
And he's defending his main.
The center right, and he's defending the main. It was unbelievable. I have to look back at the replay, start counting the amount of things going on, and then, and just sit there in absolute awe or super depression that I know I'll never be anywhere near that good. That is absolutely incredible to see, guys. So congratulations. He is the Grand Finals champion for the Gauntlet StarCraft Legacy of the Void Global Finals. Beyond takes the series 4-1. Well played by Nurchio, staying up super late for him in Europe. But the Nurch does not go home with nothing. He takes home $200 as Beyond takes home the massive prize pool, $650. He takes home for first place prize. I want to congratulate Beyond Nurchio, Beyond and Nurchio, as well as Bly and Mana for doing their thing.
Making the top 4. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for doing their thing in this event. And also got to say some more shoutouts. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, guys, to this event. I want to give that shout out first here and foremost. That was massive. We had an excellent excellent active Twitch chat here. That's absolutely amazing stuff to see. Really really awesome to see other people love StarCraft as much as we do. I mean, we all love StarCraft here. Guys, this event has been sponsored by Seatone and the Gauntlet crew. Follow them on Twitter at GauntletSC2. Just head over to Twitter and follow them at GauntletSC2. Show them some love and support. They created events like this that ran throughout this whole year, culminating in this event. And what an event this has been for the beginning of the next era of StarCraft 2. I'm Bobby. Awesome. With me is Falcon Paladin. Falcon, do you have any shoutouts to give, sir?
That's about it. Thanks again to C-Tone for organizing this event. Please follow Gauntlet SC2 on Twitter to be informed of future tournaments. Really amazing players up into the future. And yes, we've been casting for 9 hours, so my mouth is not working very well. But yes, thank you for casting with me, Bobby Awesome. It's always a pleasure. And thank you for adminning as well, Element. You are very, very excellent. And yeah, if you want to catch more LotV action, go ahead and subscribe to me on YouTube at Falcon Paladin. Just go ahead and search that on YouTube at youtube.com/Falcon Paladin. 2 LotV casts every single day of the week, including Saturday and Sunday. HD quality at the same time. And yes, look forward to see you there. And I'm going to go to bed now.
Oh, sweet. Awesome casting with you too, Falcon. Guys, also shout out to the ESL admins running the show behind the scenes. Scarecrow, Bloody Rafe, Dimitri, and Element, of course, who also did observing and ran most of the admin stuff as well. So big shout out to them. Also, shout out to the B stream that ran throughout the round of 16 and round of 8. We had Jack Attack and Drenok holding down the fort, putting on an awesome show over there, I'm sure. And I cannot wait to watch the VODs on that stream, guys. Also, the B stream, as I mentioned, had games, so check that out, twitch.tv/Gauntlet SC2B. Guys, don't forget to hit up that follow button to, be notified of more future events when we air them on this channel, guys. I'm Bobby Awesome. Check it out, me out, nexusrecall.com, and all the information's there, yada, yada, yada. That's all cool. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. StarCraft's an amazing game, and super awesome to experience what we just saw today.
Whoa, head exploded.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, that's about it from us. Again, thank you so much. Again, follow on Gauntlet SC2 on Twitter to be informed about future tournaments. They will be coming. This will keep getting bigger and bigger. Yeah. You can say you were there at the beginning stages of Gauntlet, and everybody will be super jealous.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, VODs will be up shortly as well